Welcome to the Grand Solar Minimum channel. It is June 20th, late night version here. It's 10:41, and I was just kind of looking around at some things. And late night version here. It's 10:41. I wanted to talk about a little bit about this storm system that we've got going on here with Tropical Storm Cindy. Also, I may end up throwing a link in the chat if anybody wants to jump aboard and share what their opinions are about this particular storm. But as I was watching a couple different videos, and never mind the bottom of this is obviously a software glitch, but just watching a few videos of Thor News. I like to watch his commentary on his take on the weather. He's from what he's observed, he makes a lot of good analysis that I've seen. But with the weather, it's tricky, so you don't get it right all the time. But he brought it to my attention, and hopefully to everybody else's attention as well. The way this storm is taking shape right now in the Gulf, and I was looking at the jet stream a couple days ago, and it kind of took me back a little bit to last summer, and there was a person by the name of Paul Beckwith. A couple videos were floating around. Now, I'm not so sure who this guy is. I've seen a few of his presentations, but I do remember him saying that, north-south flow is when you start having integrity of the seasons issues, basically. And I just happened to pop this up, and I thought, wow. And clearly there is north to south flow going on, crossing the equator as well, starting in the Atlantic, near the Keys, through Central America, and right over the equator. Also, if you look just right next to it, it's going south to north flow. So these are things that I guess, as a novice that I am, that I was told to look for when things are not right. And so here we have it. And the next thing I wanted to bring up was this. Hang on, here we go. So this here shows us what's going on here in the Gulf and what's behind it, because we have another storm. We could have a 1-2 punch into the Gulf. So where was the one that I wanted to show? Bear with me, folks. Here we go. This is the kind of thing that that grew a little disturbing to me when I saw this image here. This storm is going to reach all the way up the coast, and then here in the middle of the country we have what looks like Lee's talked to me about before in the past with the atmospheric compression. But what's crazy, first of all, I've never seen a system that that is quite this large. Let's see, Thor, I hope you don't mind, buddy, but I gotta show what he's showing everybody. That's not the one that we were wanting here.
I think Thor is the first link.
This is it right here. This is it right here. This is the image. I couldn't find the radar for this. This is what I wanted to show you guys, but I want to show this. And again, Thor News, he was on this, and what he exposed, this is what's troubling right here. Let me make that bigger here. So the moisture, there's two systems basically. One that's already been in place, and then of course this tropical.
Screen sharing just went off. So let me just.
Well, I made that full screen. That's probably why.
Yeah, you can't do that.
That sucks.
So
Bear with me again.
I just want to make sure it's.
All right, so I can't zoom in, but looking at this.
I just want to make sure it's on. I gotta hit the present button. There you go.
All right.
Should be good.
So I just want to know what some thoughts are about this. I mean, we see it developing here in the Gulf, and this is a system that was already in place, but it seems to draw more moisture from the current tropical storm system. And then out here in Texas, things fire up on the back end of this. I mean, look at that. And all this energy is coming from this tropical low. But what troubled me was the atmospheric compression, and look how black that gets. That is, Lee and I were talking about this today, and this is new. I'm gonna see if I can pause that real quick. Let me go back to that. This is new. When it gets black, apparently, that's a lot of rain. I know a lot of charts go to a lot of charts go to 15 to 25. Thor had pointed out in this particular video, I do believe, that there is a region now on the map that says on the legend it says 25 to 50 inches. That much rain, it's possible. But what I wanted to show you was this here. I missed it again. I'm terrible with this. Mari's my right hand for sure. She does good on this stuff. But what's impressive is how this system just fires up and it gets everything going again as you think it's departed. Here, I'll pause that. But this right here, look at the shade here, the dark black. And once it gets gray and white, that's where it's supposed to be. Apparently, when you see the gray shading and the white, it's somewhere near the 30 to 50 inch mark. They don't know. This is unprecedented, I guess. This is something that they're not used to seeing. So, I wouldn't want to be a weatherman right now because I've just never seen anything pop up that fast. And thanks again to Thor News, he's been all over this storm really for the past couple of days, and he really brought an awareness tonight. As far as I'm concerned, I've never seen the size of this thing is, to me. And here's I just wanted to show this too, the 5-day forecast. Is there a way to zoom that? Yeah, here we go. A little bit. That little brown area right there with the yellow in the middle, that brown is 20 inches of rain. So is that correct? Yes, that is brown. So this section right here, which we all know, if this is possible, it could move more west. Right now, the worst of this storm is on the eastern side of the eye. So if this thing tracks any further west, I mean, look how close we are here, folks, to a repeat, and they don't need that over here. None of this area on this side of the country, from Illinois, Indiana, northern Kentucky, North Carolina on down south, is saturated right now. So this area right here doesn't really need the rain. I want to take a look. Do we have the chat up at all?
I don't on the thing, but you can use my phone.
See what is in the chat tonight. See if anybody is. Hello.
I know someone was asking about the compression event, and Chicken Little brought up a point, I believe, about quakes or something. I don't have it in front of me.
Well, oh boy. So, and just I just wanted to show this. I just think the storm is developed bigger than I think people were expecting it, and it just caught my attention. But this all goes back to arguments that I've not arguments, discussions that I've had with people, and the big argument is we're warming and water evaporates into the atmosphere, but correct me if I'm wrong, if it's falling as rain, it's because of the upper atmosphere is cooling. And when you see storms like this, okay, where it's dropping that much rain, some of these forecast models are being modest here, by calling for 20 inches right here. Okay. I've seen other models that are calling for 35 inches and higher. So Noah's the one we trust. And let's hope that they're way off. Let's hope that they're nowhere near that number. But looking at the radar and just seeing how much activity we got going on, and we're only in June, June 20th, 21st here soon. It's 10:53, so we're still June 20th. But yeah, anyway, Mari, is there anybody in the chat that has a question or wants to come in and talk about this maybe? Is there anybody interested in maybe jumping in and having a word?
Yeah, see.
Maybe we'll throw the link in the chat and get your opinions of why this storm, this real, and here's the crazy part, it's not a hurricane, but in my opinion this is probably just as bad, if not worse, because of how much rain this storm is set to drop and how slow it's going to be moving. Like I said, especially the South, the deep South especially, you guys have been getting pounded here lately. There's enough rain down there for sure. Florida is pretty much off the hook when it comes to drought conditions. And, with moisture on the ground, and I'm curious, I haven't seen temps in a while. So, and my point what I was getting ready to make was when it's moist, it's harder for the temperature to get to its full potential. Let's just put it that way. It's, of course, you all know that it's easier for dry land to heat up a lot faster. And I'm just, curious to see what tomorrow we're looking at for surface temp. Oh, I got to change that. I'm not Canadian. I don't know how to read that. Okay. And I'm sure these are just, evening temperatures. There's no way these can be high temperatures, but I could be wrong. Yeah, these are low temps, but still very comfortable here in my neck of the woods. And we're still in the middle of that heat wave up there on the West Coast. Surprised we haven't heard anything yet about the snow melt in Sierras and how these temperatures are affecting, if they are affecting. And I couldn't imagine them these temperatures not affecting snow melt. But, last Monday we were dealing with, snow last Monday. So, it's already a weird summer. I can say that. We have seen some strange weather already, and we're only just getting started. And curious to see how things carry on throughout the summer. Mari, you got any thoughts?
Someone's asking about if there's any funky solar alignments. We recently had a funky solar alignment, but I don't believe there's anything funky right now. Could that prior solar alignment cause something funky with the weather, like something weird electromagnetically?
That's a good question.
That is an interesting question.
That's something that I would probably have to really get with Lee on. But that's a very interesting question. And just looking at the mean sea level pressure, this is interesting. Thor pointed out a couple points that kind of meet. So I don't know if that has anything to do with...
I think it would be good to have Leon and just sort of discuss the strange weather. I've seen a lot of comments where people are like, wow, it was just snowing last week and now it's 105 degrees. You know, like just insane comments,
I think what really just... This says it right here, the how big this system reaches. I mean, I've never seen a storm system this big before. I've never seen a storm system carry this much.
There is definitely a lot of moisture.
I've never seen anything like it in my life.
Crazy.
And looking at cloud coverage, and again, we've had hit or miss weather up here in this part of the country, of the Northeast. Beautiful day today, but June 20th, the high got to 72 degrees. With the wind blowing, it felt like 65. I mean, it felt like a cool, crisp autumn day. I'm not lying. I mean, it was stuffy inside the building where I worked at. So I remember going outside a couple times just to air out. I was actually sweating indoors versus outdoors. I'd had to go out to cool off. And it just weird weather. In June, you would expect the reverse. But if we don't have anything going on, I just kind of wanted to pop in and say hello and bring awareness. Yeah, we're going to watch this storm for sure. But again, shout out to Thor News. Like I said, he has been the guy that's, in my opinion, I've seen cover the most of this. And he points out some of the obvious stuff that some of us don't always catch. But here you can see the eye right here, guys. I don't know if my cursor is showing up. But there's the eye right now, and the eye is moving. It is tracking a little bit more northwest. So that concerns me. If that eye continues at that track, does that 20-inch spot of rain, does that move now into the area where we know that can flood the most here? I don't know. We're just going to have to keep our eyes and hope that we've learned our lessons from Katrina. I'm not saying that we're going to see Katrina-type devastation, but storm surge and heavy rain is definitely going to happen. And with that, of course, with all the rain that they have already had down there, we're going to see some major flooding as well. All right, guys. What? Yeah, I'm going to get off here.
We'll answer, Jimmy, we'll answer your question tomorrow.
What was it?
Cover the weather. He wants to know about a Cat 5 hurricane. What would a Cat 5 hurricane do with atmospheric compression event?
Wow. I mean... You
might want to repeat my question in case the mic didn't pick it up.
The question was what would happen, and this is extreme, and I don't know if I can even answer this, but Jimmy asked what would happen if a Category 5 was approaching the States during an atmospheric compression event. And that's something I could ask Lee if that's even possible. And if it is impossible, I couldn't imagine it would be a massive explosion on the radar. I just thinking about it right now. I don't want to exaggerate, but that's something I can definitely dove in with Lee. And he will definitely be able to give us a straight answer on that. In my opinion, it definitely wouldn't be good. You think this storm is big. I couldn't imagine what a Cat 5 during an atmospheric compression event would look like. Massive, possibly covering up, 30-40% of the country easily. So who knows? All right. Well, guys, thanks for tuning in. This was just a little update. Keep your eyes and thoughts with the folks down south. Hopefully everybody's safe and they've gotten to their safe spot. And we'll continue to watch the storm, and we'll give updates as fit. Take care, guys.